Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Hitting the Bars. It's Keltie, virtually beside the lovely, amazing, beautiful, stunning, smart, savvy, wily one. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I like how we're hat twins today.
I know, you joined the club.
Always wear a hat. So it
I
inspired
do.
me because I had my hair slicked back. For some weird reason, the water in New York, my hair gets so greasy so fast.
Ah.
And I had it in a bun and I was like, I'm going to look like a thumb on our YouTube channel. So then I said, Keltie, what does she do? A hat. Throw it on. Chic.
It's the call. I'm just in my hat era. I like it. You can't tell if I washed my hair today, yesterday, 3 days ago. You'll never know. Are my roots grown out? Mystery. Am I going to get wrinkles? No. And honestly, that was a big inspiration. My mom, I was like, about 3 years ago, I was like, how's your skin look like that? She was like, have you ever seen me without a hat outside? I'm like,
fair.
True. And so now I'm my mother's daughter, and I like it. It's a nice like little accessory. Now I'm just
It is. Do
good.
you straighten your hair? Like, you know how mine's a little wavy right now and yours is straight? Have you heard of like this new straight to curly hair tutorial on TikTok?
Is it the one where like the curly hair girl method? Are you talking about that? Okay.
It's literally called straight hair to curly hair. And I discovered it yesterday. And I have like straight hair naturally, but every now and then I'll get a kink or like these natural not even waves, just like little weird blobs in my hair. And I'm like, my mom, my dad, and my brother all have gorgeous, gorgeous curly hair. And I had pin straight hair. And I'm like, all I want is a curl. So I guess these girls on TikTok that have naturally straight hair and maybe a little wave or something weird in it and like frizzy, they have learned this method. I can't remember the girl's name, but she basically buys like 4 products and like teaches you how to diffuse your hair. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I'm watching all these reviews and like one girl, hers is so freaking cute. And then the next girl, it looks horrid. It looks like I took the Aussie purple spray, the crunch spray, when I was in middle school and I crunched my wet hair and just made myself crunchy noodles. So I was like, I hate to break it to you guys. I would never ever comment anything or be a troll because vote no troll people. But in my head I was like, we've tried this, ladies. We've been here. Straight hair girls have tried this method back in middle school with the Aussie hairspray, and it looks horrendous and it does not sit well. And so don't try it.
Good to know. I won't, because I fallen victim to that. I remember like the curly hair method. It's like no one actually has straight hair. If you'll just let it air dry. So I'm like, okay, cool. Air dried, doesn't brush it, pin straight. Like and you could look at my mom. Is saying my mom doesn't own a curling iron or a straightening iron. It's pin straight. There's just I'm sure there's some people that have that like in between, can be kind of straight, kind of curly, and I think they're biased to the people who have just pure straight. Like it can't, my hair can't hold a curl, nothing. This is like not brushing, 3 days washed. This is
Do you find though, because your hair is so straight, there's some type of like wire to it and then it gets tangled within itself and it doesn't make sense because it's straight? Because that's how I feel.
Like I the only thing that ever happens, like mine never curls, it's nothing, but I get little knots sometimes. That's about it. Like, but that's just from like right now by the end of it, because my hair is kind of in my armpit, it will get a little knotty, but it's not like that's it. Or it gets clumpy if it's greasy, but that's kind of it.
Wow, that's nice. I'm like, I will literally have rat's nests. And it doesn't make sense because my hair's so straight. Yeah. And it drives me nuts. And I'm like, am I the only girl? And Michael's sister has the same exact hair as me. And her and I, we like came out of like the bathroom one time and we both were like sleeping in French braids. And I go, why are you doing that? And she goes, why are you doing it? I'm like, because my hair gets tangled AF no matter what I do. That's why when I run, I braid it. Like otherwise it's a freaking mess for 30 minutes. And she had the same problem. She's like, my hair is the devil, even though it's straight. And I'm like, same. I've never met anybody that relates. It's like all the curly girls get naturally, like messed up hair. There's no reason, but weirdly I do. Like underneath this, it's rat's nest.
We all have our problems. Mine, it looks greasy after 6 hours, my hair. And if I want to like cute, like I can't curl my hair and go to the bar because in 3 hours it's gone. No matter what I do, or I have it like we were talking the crunch that isn't cute. So I'm like, no. I used to curl them. It's not worth the effort. So
I completely agree. Never worth the effort. Honestly, that is overrated. curling or straightening your hair is so overrated. Just wear it natural, however it may be, because we all know it's going to end up that way, like at the end of the night.
You just got to be thankful for what you have. Like I used to always be so envious of curly haired girls. And now I'm like, you know what? The blessing of straight hair is I can do a slick back bun, like easy. I just got to wait for my hair to be greasy. It never occurred to me. I was like, why would you put gel in your hair? And my girlfriend has curly hair. She's like, so it doesn't curl. I was like, oh, so that, you know what? I will never have the thick, beautiful Victoria's Secret curls, but I can do a Hailey Bieber slick back bun. So pros and cons. We all have
pros and cons. I agree.
Embrace the au naturel.
I
don't have self-tanner on. Speaking of au naturel,
wow,
is
that big for you?
I'm doing. It's the thumbnails. If I didn't have to take goddamn thumbnails, I'd never use self-tanner. But
couldn't you just like hypothetically Photoshop your self-tan?
You would think. It's not the same. The photo just doesn't look as good. You know what I mean? It's just like the contrast, the light against the white. It's just a good tan. People. You know what? People click it more when you got a tan. I hate to say it.
Really? Maybe I should try
it. It's not me. Just kidding. Maybe honestly, it's just me. The audience tells me all the time, stop wearing self-tanner. So I think it's just
they don't like it?
No, it's not that. They're like, whenever I don't wear it, they're like, you look great without it. I'm like, I just gotta.
That's like my eyelashes.
Yeah.
People can be cruel about eyelashes. And I'm like, God damn it, guys, I like it, okay? Yeah. I mean, I'm not wearing them today. I'm like, I still like myself without eyelashes, but I think they're fun. And I like filming in them because I feel like I look like a doll.
Yeah. I guess I should also mention I actually just have a legit tan from the sun right now. So that's also probably why I'm getting away with it. And compared to, if you see my tan lines, that's how pasty I am.
But you look quite pale always when I see you.
If you see my tan line, you'd be like, oh. So maybe that's why I'm also not wearing it. I'm not ghostly. Yeah. See, I got the watch tan. You can see.
Yeah, I can faintly.
Yeah.
Faintly.
It's there.
It's like, I feel like I tan really easily. I don't know what it is. My dad, I was just talking to my friend about this. He found out he's Italian, like part Italian. And I'm like, maybe that's it. Because I have such dark eyebrows and like dark hair naturally. And I'll tan really easily. But my mom doesn't. So I'm like, whenever you guys are always self-tanning, I'm like, I'll live. I'll take it. But, you know, my stepmom, I always thought she was Native American because she is, you've seen Lynette, she is the tannest woman year round, never lays in the sun. She's not. I thought, well, because we're from Washington, right? So there's a lot of Native Americans that live there. So I thought, oh, you are. No, I know her parents, pale as can be. And I'm like, I don't know. And her like none of her siblings are tan. It does not make sense.
You know what? Sometimes it's like that. Like my dad, he's pure Irish, and he just tans like this. Just, and then my brother has never had a tan. He's so like I can tan if I purposely, but I've been on my SPF train. But my brother has never had a tan. It's white or red. Or freckle. No.
Is he redheaded?
He's blonde, but he has red tinge to it. Like his beard is red, but his hair is blonde. If that makes sense. He's one of those.
Redheads, and I mean they all usually come from Ireland, are stunning. Like I can't look away. They're like mesmerizing. Like their hair is so just beautiful.
It's the rarest, isn't it? Like red hair, blue eyes. It's like the rarest combo of hair and eyes.
Yeah, I would believe it. It's stunning.
It's my stepsister's redhead, and she just got like the most beautiful hair. And I'm like, oh, love.
Like never dye your hair. It's so beautiful.
But just, I feel for all our gingers listening, I hope you know your time is coming, because I feel that was just like the flaming ginger was such a stereotype to make fun of, and now I'm like, Ariel, gorgeous, rarity, beauty.
You guys do have a soul.
Yes, you do.
Did you ever do that? We used to bully my friends. Like little brother because he was redheaded, and we'd be like, you have no soul, and he would cry because he was like 7 and he didn't understand the phrase.
It was stupid blondes and soulless gingers. That's what we grew up. That was what we were all educated in.
I love it.
Stereotypes. But let's not go down the stereotype train, because that could go on forever.
Truly.
Actually, on that, should we list off our hot takes of the week? Because I got one.
What is your hot take?
I got one. It's less of a hot take, and I just want to say I have faith in humanity again. So Anytime anything happens on the internet, anything goes viral, I was like, I give up. The internet, it's over. Society's ending. But did you hear about, I hate, trigger warning, if you hate bathroom talk, come back in 1 minute. Did you hear about Diarrhea Gate on Delta flight?
No.
Okay,
No.
I don't want to repeat it because no one needs to hear this again. Anyways, Google
I
it if you
wanna
haven't.
know.
Okay, pretty much. I'll say it as not gross as possible. Someone on a Delta flight to Barcelona, 2 hours in, they had to redirect the flight because there was a biohazard.
No.
Turns out the biohazard was someone had a medical emergency all over the plane. We'll just put it that way. And there's photo evidence. Anyways, they had to turn it back around. Awful. And all I could think about, like, this poor person, like, that has to be the most humiliating thing of all time, because no one would do that. It wasn't like someone was like throwing it around. Like, it was clearly this person was in distress. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, no,
and all I could think about was like, the goddamn internet's gonna make this person into a meme. I was so worried about it. Like, I was this person has stayed anonymous, and so I'm like, thank you, internet. I'm just so proud of the internet right now that, like, we all could agree that this person has had enough pain. Like, no one on the airplane, like, I don't even know if it's a guy or girl. I'm like, I'm so proud of the internet. I'm so proud of you.
Wow. So I have so many questions.
Yes.
Was it in the bathroom?
No, it was up the aisle. Like, I mean,
no.
Yes,
they were probably
it was
running to the bathroom.
That's why I was like, I haven't dived too into it because, once again, you don't want to go too much into someone's
your pants
worst
would stop
day.
You.
But that's why it was that bad. Like,
wow.
So there must have been like something they just couldn't hold it.
Sick.
They could try to exactly something went wrong. But I was like,
so your hot take is that you love that people are not exposing these people?
My hot take is like, I'm proud of the internet.
Yeah,
because for once we all agreed that let's not turn this person into a meme on their worst day and they have to live that for the rest of their life. That we could all agree, keep this person anonymous. So I'm proud of the internet for once. Good job, trolls.
Imagine there's like a public apology. Like, that'd be awful.
Oh,
yeah.
I can't, because like, remember like just like 3 weeks ago, the girl who went crazy on the plane and was like, he's not real. I was like, hey, that's laughable, I guess. Like, that's not going to end your...
Well, she also like this person can't help this, really.
Yeah.
Well, we actually don't know what happened with that woman.
Yeah, she could... I was like, I can't remember. She could have... That's also, I'm like, she clearly had a psychotic break or something. Like, I feel so bad for someone that's going through the worst day of their life and then they're known for that. I'm like, oh, I just feel so bad.
Yeah, but I guess there leaves room for people to not be as understanding or misinterpret it, where this is like, every human understands this.
We've all had a bad moment, and luckily most of us have had it in private, not on a plane of 100 people. I'm like, oh,
that is absolutely horrible. These stories my mom tells me as a flight attendant,
she must have crazy ones.
We were texting today, and she said that she flew yesterday and that somebody set off the smoke alarm because they were vaping in the bathroom, and so they had to like report them. And like, they could, I don't think they can go to jail, but they could get like warned. They're not on the no-fly list, but
that's nice.
It's illegal to do that. But it's like people, this leads into my hot take.
Yeah.
Is people all what is the word? All common sense goes out the window sometimes when you're on a plane. Have you ever like observed people and they're over here with their bare ass feet, or like being mean to the flight attendants, or like hogging your seat? Like, this was mine, is that. And firsthand, I experienced it yesterday. I was sitting next to so it was a woman and her daughter, and I had bought the aisle seat. And I get up a million times because I stay hydrated.
I'm the same way, always aisle.
And like, my feet, like, I get cramps, like I have to walk, like I'm just obnoxious on a plane. So I'm like, I don't want to bother anybody. I don't want to feel like nervous. So I just do it. And she is like, hey, do you mind if I sit in the aisle seat? And I was like, I actually get up a lot. So I do. Like, I bought it. And then she's like, well, I get up a lot too. And I was like, okay, well, I have no problem. Just let me know. Yeah. I'll help you get up. I don't care. We can get up at the same time. She's like pissed off at me, grumpy, immediately starts grunting and like, just like saying awful things about me. And I'm like, ma'am, what are you talking about? Like, buy the seat then. So then, and like, there was no reason, like, I couldn't sit there. And so then she's like throwing a fit, asking the flight attendant if they have extra seats. And it was a full flight. So they didn't, the only extra seat they had were middle seats. And so I was like, I'm sorry, but like, there's a reason I bought it. And so then like, I just hear her talking smack about me to her daughter. Like they're like, her daughter's like 30, like she was a older person. And so then I just put my noise canceling headphones in. I'm like, I don't care. Like, I don't have a problem with you. I don't know why you have a problem with me. I'm just going to ignore it. This woman proceeds to put her bare feet sprawled out in my foot space.
Oh,
because I had like sat with my legs crossed at first. So then I'm trapped. And I'm like, part of me was like, don't make a fuss. Like, I don't know how this woman reacts because people can be crazy on planes.
Crazy.
And I don't want to like get in some argument with this lady. And so I'm just like ignoring it. I'm texting Michael being like, what do I do? I'm like, I can't like put my feet down now. And he's like, you need to let her know. So then I go to the bathroom and then I like steal the foot thing back because she goes to the bathroom. So I'm like, this is a game. So then she wiggles her way in. Her bare toes are touching me. And I'm like, I'm out. I hate feet. It's my number one pet peeve. I don't even like Michael's feet. I'm like, nobody touch me. I tap on this lady and I'm like, ma'am, you gotta respect my space. Like I paid for this space. And she just grumbles and moves her foot away. And I'm like, that's my hot take is people lack like, it's not always about you. Like just stay in your lane. Nobody wants to be in this tube. Watch a movie and just fall asleep and just don't bug anybody. Don't complain. I'm like, just get it done. Get to where you need to. And I was like, I felt like I was being very nice. The first hour I let her like sprawl out and I like didn't have any room to put my feet. So I put it in the aisle until the flight attendants came and I was like, I have to move my feet. But that's my
flying
take.
etiquette. No, I believe it. I was like, sometimes I think there needs to be a crash course before someone, because I get it. Like, I fly a lot, so I'm really synchronized. Like, I know what the person's going to tell me. I know what to do in order to put my stuff fast, efficient, go. And some people, you're like, how did you not take liquids out? You know what I mean? But like, I always would give people grace because you're like, you clearly don't fly a lot. But there should be like an unwritten hand rule of like, middle seat gets both armrests. You stay. There should be like enough. We all don't pay attention to the safety things. We all need 10 polite things to do in a plane. Like,
I agree. And I gave her the armrest. I kept to myself.
You get it. There's the unwritten
I draw
rules.
a line with your bare feet touching me.
No,
I'm like, the feet must stay in the lane. Must stay in the little cube. We can all fit our cube. I'm like, oh my God. I've never had such a mean woman. And then like the flight attendant comes around and she's just so nasty to her. And I was just like, why? Like, we're all just doing our best. Like, just
everyone hates it.
Newsflash, it's not all about you. You're living in your own world. It's just like I just got up. I didn't say a word when I left. I was like, I can't believe you should be embarrassed about how you just like treated me, treated them. Like, and
that's the thing about airplanes is if you want more comfortability, you could pay for it. So if you like, that's what I was like,
you want the aisle, pay for it.
I pay for the aisle. And then, but once a mom used the mom card to get my aisle seat. And I'd feel it, but all she did, she was like, oh, do you mind if I sit aisle? Because I want to be closer to my daughter. And then I was like, I paid her. And she said like daughter. And I was like, you can't say no. Her daughter had to have been 18 and her daughter was in a different row. She was like, they're both just like, I was like, you're not any closer to your daughter being there. And I was like, you bitch.
Did you ask her to switch?
No,
I would have been like, switch me back.
Down, and it had only been like 2 hours, but like I was like, it had already been too late, and I was just like, I already sat in. But I was like, I was so pissed. She's like, I just want to make sure I'm there for my daughter. I'm like, your daughter would have been just like, it was like, once again, if it was a small kid, so of course I'm going to do it, even if I paid. But also, it was like, oh no, you just won the aisle and you didn't want to pay for it, and you pulled the mom card. I'm like,
totally. I will never forget. This is the worst thing. Like, it haunts me to this day. I was in college. I studied abroad in Spain. I'm coming home from Spain to Washington. And I probably had like a layover somewhere, but it's like a long flight, right? And I remember it was a dad and a mom and like a fresh baby. I don't know the age. I don't remember because this was years ago. And I'm sitting on the aisle. I think it was the aisle or the window. Where was it? I don't remember. But they said, they were like, hey, do you mind? Like, we have this baby and like one of us wants to get some sleep, like wants a little break. Do you mind sitting in the middle? And I was like, oh, I guess, sure. Like, I'd never really dealt with that. So I was like 20. I'm like, okay. Oh my God, that woman, or not that woman, that baby wailing. And then they proceed to hand the baby back and forth. So they basically just didn't want to be next to it while it was crying. I must have been, I was on the other side or something. They wanted something weird. And I was like, and I actually spoke up for myself before we even took off, because it kept happening. They kept throwing the baby back and forth in between me. And I was like, hey, I'm really sorry. I actually bought this seat. I don't really feel comfortable with this. I'm not big on babies. Like, I'm so sorry. I don't have a kid. I don't know how to understand this. And I was like, I don't want to be in between you guys. And they were so mad at me. And I was like, but it's my seat I bought. And they switched, but it like haunted me and like traumatized me because they were so angry at me. And I was like this 20-year-old.
Yeah.
But I'm like, just don't, if you want to have that space, just buy it that way. You know, don't make it other people's problems.
Or just as simple as like, whenever I'm always going to look the moms first, like parents, kids, always top priority. And I do everything. But there gets to be a point where it's like, that's not practical.
Yeah.
I was like, why are you tossing your kid over a stranger? Like, there gets to be like,
it was because like he wanted to sleep. Like the husband wanted to sleep. But then I'm over here next to the wailing kid. And I'm like, wait, where? Ooh, I didn't sign up for this.
I was going to say, and one person over isn't going to affect the noise volume. Like, that's so dumb.
Yeah. That's where I'm like, I can't remember. It was so long ago. Maybe that's what I'm saying. Like, maybe because it was such a large plane. They were sitting together in a 2-seater, and I was probably in the 3-seater in the middle, and they wanted me to switch. So I sat next to her and the baby, and he got in the middle. Like, does that make sense? So there was at least a row separating them. And then I was like, big mistake. No.
No,
I was like, I'm so sorry to be that person. I apologize a million times. I'm such a people pleaser. But I was like, I cannot have a 10-hour flight with this baby screaming in my ear.
Yeah. Bless Apple and noise canceling headphones, and bless today's topic, which we're about to move on to. So do you want to intro it for us, Sav?
Yes, we thought we'd do a fun video based on like 10 must-have products for your health. And we know you guys love our 10 must-haves, but we thought it'd be fun to like narrow it down and really make it all about just in general life and how we want to live healthier. So instead of it just being fall or winter or summer, it's in general. What are we loving that has to do with the health industry?
I will start off with number 1. Is going to be weird, but hear me out. I'm testing it out, and some of you might join me. Toe spacers. Now, my mom got me on this, and I thought she was batshit crazy. But now I'm like, oh, I see it. Now, I don't know about you. I have very narrow feet. And since I've been young, I tighten my shoes so much because they're always too wide. And I just crank on them. And so if you ever see my toes, which I hope you're not, but the internet's weird, my toes are like overlapping. They're like squished from having like tightened the narrow part of my shoes. They all got like jams. So my toes like cross over. And I didn't think anything of it. I was like, oh, it's just how my toes are. Apparently that's not good for your posture and all this. Like our toes are supposed to be able to like move and be spaced out. And I didn't think anything until I saw Meg's. And he can like wiggle. It's crazy. Like what you do with your hands spread, he can do with his toes. I'm like, I physically can't do that. Anyways, it's all linked. It's all linked with that. So I've been at night wearing toe spacers. So you can get them on Amazon, and it's so nice. Like it just feels, I'm like, oh, this is how your toes are supposed to be. And I was like, it got me down a wormhole of like looking at like barefoot running shoes and all that. And that's a whole different thing.
Don't be that person.
I'm not. I was like, but I did a good Google chat GPT. I went down the whole route. But try toe spacers. If your toes are like me, they're cheap, and it's just like, oh, it's so nice, and it's good for your posture. And apparently it can help with your glutes. Because if you can't use your toes, you can't engage certain muscles in your legs properly. So I'm kind of testing if I work this, does it help my glute strength as well? Because I've underdeveloped glutes.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah. That leads me into mine. And that's because my friend Sam and I were talking, and she actually told me about toe spacers because she walks in New York, works a 9 to 5, and then walks home, gets home at 7. She's always in tennis shoes or flats, whatever it may be. And so she was saying how like the progression with your toes and things like that. Yeah. Where I was like, that's so fascinating because the only time I wear tennis shoes is if I'm walking or if I am at the gym. Yeah. I only wear like slides at home, like in Puerto Rico, because who wants to wear, it's hot out and I'm at the beach. So I was like, wow, I never even thought of it. Yeah. But she also recommended this. This was 2 things, which she said toe spacer and this neck pillow, and I already ordered it, but I shipped it to Puerto Rico and I'm not going to be home for a while. So it's going to be there when I arrive. That, and I'm looking into buying a Ninja Creamy.
Oh, nice.
I'm like, they finally restocked.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
So this neck pillow is supposed to help you I'll link it. We'll have to remember. We always say we'll link. We don't do it. I will try and link it into our one day, our Instagram, because it looks like a little mini hill, like a little pillow. And you put it between your neck and you lay there on the floor, just like flat back with this neck pillow. And it's supposed to open up like your hunch. So it's for people that are constantly hunched, looking at a computer, you and I, a lot of people, like it's supposed to help you so you don't develop that hunch over time. Cause I was telling her, I'm like, I feel like I have this natural freaking hunch when I look into the mirror. And I'm like, what is this thing? And I have to really work to overcorrect my posture. So she recommended this neck pillow. It's like $15. You put it on the ground and you just lay there for like 5 to 10 minutes. And she said she feels wonderful after. Like everything's opened up. So it doesn't really make sense via a podcast, but maybe head to our links and I'll try and link it. It's just Amazon neck pillow to correct hunch.
I'm intrigued. Please, like this.
Because
I'm constantly like this and in pain. And they're like, why do I have a headache? Because I sit this far from a screen 12 hours a day.
Same.
Oh, the beauty. Speaking of something beautiful, number 2, my recommendation. Now this one, I'm going to keep a little broad, but something to track your workouts. Because for me, Apple Watch or a ring, but you can also do old school paper pen. You can buy an activity tracker, or just take like progress videos for like your form. So like that's one of my favorite ones, is just like if you're weight training, just film your squats. If you're getting your running, film some runs. Obviously I do that like full time, but like I've noticed you never see yourself progress in fitness. You're just like, oh yeah, I'm kind of like, I'm in shape or I'm not. My body changed a little, but like in terms of actual in the gym, I feel the reason for so long we put so much weight, no pun intended, on the scale is because that was all we had. You're up or down the scale. There was the only like clear metric of progress, and so we put so much pressure on it. So I'm like, instead of like demonizing the scale, and I've said this before, like I don't think you should step on the scale and like have emotion. I think you should just be like, oh, it's like having your blood pressure. I instead of like never stepping on the scale, I think it's an even healthier place to be like, you don't care about the scale because it's like such a small indicator. So I'm like, find something else. If you're someone who's like over hyper fixated and you're just like weight loss, weight gain, and because it changes so much. Like I just ate at 9 p.m. instead of 7 p.m. the night before. It's going to be different on the scale. Like, and that has nothing to do with it. But obviously get activity tracker and all that, but just start recording your workouts simply, and then look back. And like, I'm so thankful for that. Like I look back 3 years and like, whoa, look at that squat form. It does look so much better. And like, so that's my recommendation. Just find something to track your workouts so you don't hyperfixate on the scale.
Absolutely. And even like all the girls that I train one-on-one, I always make them take a progress photo in the beginning. And I'll get some girls that are like, oh, I've just been putting it off. I hate the thought of it. Cause they're obviously, they're like, I'm at this point and want to change. Right. But it is so, like you said, rewarding when you just do it, save it in an album that you can't see. You have to have like Face ID to see it. Yep. And then save for a rainy day. And in a couple months time, you'll be so freaking thankful, because I even look back now and I'm like, I wish I recorded more when I first started, but I was like, I didn't feel great about myself. So why would I record it? But it is so cool to see that progress and just hide it for a bit. But like your future self will thank you. So I love that.
It's so nice. Like even I have had friends who have like acne struggles, and I'm always like, take a photo right now. It's the hardest thing. But then when you like see how far your skin comes, it's such a nice thing to look back at. And like you said, my weight hasn't changed in like 10 years. Like since I hit puberty, it's like fluctuated 5 pounds, but my body has changed so much from just like different segments. So it's just nice to have just like an outside look back. And yeah, so that's a recommendation. What's your next one?
I love that. So my next one is greens. Big fan of greens in general. But on my trip, I was like, I forgot to pack my ghost greens. What should I do? And my sister-in-law, I don't know if I already talked about this on the podcast, but it's called Amazing Greens, and you can find them at like Target, Whole Foods. You might be, I don't know if you can find them at Walmart, but like a normal, Safeway, Ralph's, whatever you got. in the States, but the ingredients are pretty solid. They're quite clean ingredients, which is awesome. There's not a lot of additives, and you could have it like a chocolate one, which tastes delicious. It tastes like chocolate milk, which sounds so freaking weird, but somebody's got to get the greens down some way, right? I just bought the original because I don't mind the greens taste, but even like, I kid you not, when Michael and I come back drunk from a night in New York, we down electrolytes and greens. That's like,
I love
the two things we always down. So try Amazing Greens. I think that's the name of them, but I had just never heard of them, and they're quite affordable. A lot of greens I think are expensive, and these are about like $35 for like, I think it was like 40 servings maybe. But yeah, cheapest one I found when I have, when I'm paying for 2 people.
Nice. I respect it. I was like so tempted to see if I could say the whole AG1 ad line in 10 seconds. I'm always so tempted. Like anytime anyone says greens and I'm out in public, I'm like, have you heard of AG175 whole food greens?
You kill me. Oh wait, these are called, they're called Amazing Grass Greens Blend Superfood. That's what it's called, not Amazing Greens. Amazing Grass, people. Let's drink our grass.
Go touch grass. We all need to do that. That should have been 3 grass. Just go touch it. Eat it, touch it, lay on it.
Eat it.
Sniff it.
Sniff it. Jinx.
Hug it. I was running out of things. Start getting inappropriate. Hey.
Ooh. Dirty.
Yeah.
Okay. Next up, ma'am.
Number 3. I'm going to say that, hey, you're my Keltie. Shut up about the water. I get it. But I'm going to forever remind people to drink water because that's become my thing. But specifically, a water bottle that matches all your accessories. Because guess what? This is a case in point. We don't have our life together. Sav just dropped something. I don't know what you dropped.
I dropped hairspray.
See, we don't have our life together. I don't have my life together. I'm pure shambles. But when someone sees me and they're like, that girl's water bottle matches her headphones, which matches her iPhone case, like, that girl, offer a job. She's organized. She's that girl. She's got her shit together. Her water bottle matches her accessories. But I don't remotely have my life together. But that's my track. Just like, it's a nice like accessory when you match it. And then you want to take the photo on the airplane. Like that's why, I've received girls who take the really pretty photos and it's like their airplane little purse and all that. You're like, why doesn't mine look so good? It's because their water bottle matches everything. So that's
fair.
And then you're more likely to drink water because you'll bring it everywhere with you because it matches everything. And then it's like part of your thing.
Yeah. You are the most aesthetic person I know.
Oh, really? Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Because I'm like the opposite. All my friends joke, hot mess over here. So I'm like, I couldn't be bothered because I would probably lose it, drop it, dent it. I don't know. But I love the idea. I've lost it every time.
I'm really close friends with Just Jolie. So I appreciate you calling me aesthetic because I feel like a slob when I'm around that man. Oh, perfection. If you haven't seen
Just Jolie, I don't know who that is.
Just on TikTok, him and his boyfriend Ryan. You might have seen him. Anyways, now that we said it, it's going to be the algorithm. He just opened a coffee shop in Mount Pleasant in Vancouver, and it is perfection.
Oh, this is your friend that had the coffee shop, right?
Yeah. So they're opening up, and everything. Like whenever I go into their apartment, those apartments that are like they're not empty, they're decorated, but they're flawless. Like everything has a place, but yet there's still stuff and there's paintings and all this. Yet it still isn't messy. So everything they do, I'm like, I just want to live in your place. But
totally.
Anyways,
I went into a Crate and Barrel with Michael this weekend solely to find a bathroom. They didn't have one, unfortunately. But
a bathroom?
Michael's like, yeah, they didn't have a bathroom.
Oh, I see. I thought you meant you were like trying to purchase a bathroom.
No, public.
Yeah, you can't walk in and buy a bathroom.
Yeah. You're like, duh. No, but we walk in and like Michael's eyes light up and he's like, oh, do we have this in Puerto Rico? I'm like, yeah, we have a Crate and Barrel. He's like, we should go. I'm like, they're expensive. That's why we don't go. That's why I go to Home Goods. But I just like saw him be like, everything is so organized and aesthetic. And I'm like, I know. Trust me, this is goals. Instead, I go TJ Maxx, grab some random shit, and then try and make it cohesive. And I'm like, one day we'll Crate and Barrel our house. It's a dream.
There's a CB2, which is like the elevated Crate and Barrel on my way home. And the amount of times I'm like halfway walking home, it's a little cold or a little hot. So I want the AC or heat. I just pop in that store just to look around and admire that I can buy. I actually did buy one thing from there once, and that's my claim to fame. And That's it. And one day,
I love
one
it.
day,
One day.
I can
I think
dream,
like my
win the
wine
lottery.
glasses from like my wedding registries from Crate and Barrel, and I feel bougie. I'm like,
So
ooh, and then I
bougie.
broke one.
Yeah, and that's
Like,
the
this is
thing.
why I
Then
can't
you're
have
like
nice
scared to ever
things.
use it.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, it
I
a
am on a
curse.
kick of I want to redo my office. Like now that we finally moved in, it's been a year.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do like wood paneling, get some little soundproofing.
Yes.
I just want to like use it more. So
you got to.
I'm like, I'll go to Crate and Barrel for the aesthetic, and then I'll recreate it on a budget.
Oh my God, should that be our goals? Because I have my second room that I refuse to decorate because I'm trying to save money. But then I was like, what's the point of having this room if you don't decorate it? So I need
That's
to
true.
make something with it. So
The
we'll both
only
encourage
thing,
each other.
though, but the thing is, like, you don't own it. So that's where I'm like, I never ever did anything until I owned something because I'm like, I'm not going anywhere. When you move so much, are you not going anywhere anytime soon?
Well, eventually I'll live in Vancouver. So that's why I've also like, I can buy furniture because you can move the furniture.
Yes.
I'm kind of
totally.
like the little knickknacks and that, but like, I might as well put a seat or a desk or something in it.
No,
It's
that's
just
fair.
got like,
You have
it's
nothing?
got a $10. There's a $10 IKEA hanger in there and a mirror. So that's why if you look and you're like, oh, Keltie, so aesthetic with her white walls, it's because the room's empty. It's the only reason it looks pretty. So it's just a blank white wall. So I'll send you a photo of it and you'll be like, oh, that's not aesthetic. That's sad.
That's proper minimalist.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what? Some call it broke, some call it minimalist. It all depends how you look at it.
That's true. When in doubt, I'm a minimalist.
Exactly.
Like, what? It's like the people that are like, I'm nomadic. And you're like, no, you just don't have, like, you don't pay rent somewhere. Like, I knew this girl.
I kind of like it. I kind of like it. That would be me. I'd be, I'm not homeless. I'm nomadic. That would be me.
Absolutely. Okay. Let's get into concrete. That was a horrible transition.
I was like, I could hear it coming. I was like, okay, let's see this.
Well, you always transition. I wanted to try. I like crack at it.
I mean, DJs all we do is transition, so that's all I got. That's all I got.
There we go. Well, I have raved about this prior, but I, honest to God, think my life has changed with me purposely buying shoes that are dedicated to concrete. Because if you're like a girly that's walking around in a city, you live in a city, I'm in New York right now. I just like, guys, I live, what are you laughing at?
I totally misinterpreted what these are. I thought you bought some kind of fancy shoe made of concrete.
My calves would get a workout.
I know. I thought like, girls wear like the weighted ankle shoes. Like the ankle straps. I thought it was something like that. I was like, okay, this is going to be unique. But no shoes for concrete. Anyways, go on. Sorry, that's why I'm laughing.
I bet New York Fashion Week has a concrete shoe around here somewhere.
Definitely.
Anyways, as I was saying, concrete shoes. I just did some research. I talked about it, about these on-cloud shoes that are designated for concrete runs and walks. But last year when I was in New York, I would walk and I'd be like so sore and like miserable. And now I feel like I'm walking on clouds, and it is I feel like it's so important if you're constantly walking in a city, just invest in concrete shoes. And like, that sounds weird, but you can actually just do your research and like, they will tell you if they're good for like trail runs or concrete. Like, it's quite easy to look that up. But yeah.
I noticed you jumped on the On Clouds, and I'm so proud of you. Aren't they
Cloud
amazing?
Swift 5. Yes, I love them.
And like you're saying, if you do go on Clouds, they literally tell you what each is for. I always said, like, they'll be like, these are for 10Ks, these are for marathons, these are for rolls. I love them. I love them.
Yeah. Don't just buy a shoe because it's trendy, like Hoka.
Yeah.
Like, buy it because you like it, it fits well, and it's like going to get the job done.
Fits your feet. Like you said, I got narrow feet, can't wear Adidas. So, you know what? It's just the name of the game. I'm sorry.
All right, your next one?
Vitamin C. 2 ways. Supplement, food, skincare. That was 3. I counted wrong. But either way, I'm just like obsessed with vitamin C right now. Obviously for my skin, it was the first thing that, like, if you're like me, I have very splotchy skin. It evened out my skin tone. Also, there's all the science. I'm not going to bore it with you. But if you're someone who has problems with skin and hair, getting enough vitamin C in your diet can help with that, because it's something with the omegas, boring science. Google it if you care. And then obviously it just helps with longevity and all that. So I'm just like on my vitamin C game, and I'm obsessed with it.
Okay.
I bought that Symbiotica vitamin C. I got vitamin C in my AG1. I'm getting in my fruits and veggies. I'm putting it on my face. I'm putting it on my whole body. And I'm just about vitamin C everywhere. And it's about to be pumpkin season. It's about to be orange season. Even though I think pumpkin's high in vitamin A, not vitamin C.
But how dare they?
Either way. Just look into the science of vitamin C, add it to your life, game changer. Skin, ingest, boom, you go up.
Okay, awesome. All right, mine is Skims bralettes. And what I mean by this is support in general, because I feel like a lot of people, as we get older, our boobs get a little saggy, okay? And everybody's always like, why? And doctors have told me this since I got my boobs done. Always have support, because it's natural for gravity to weigh them down. So people swear by like sleeping in just bralettes. Like those are comfy. You don't need to wear a wire. But like having a bralette, I mean, personally, I love not wearing bras, so I get it. But ever since I paid money for new tatas, I was like, well, I gotta treat them right. So I always just wear a bralette. I buy Urban Outfitters has fantastic bralettes. I'm wearing one as we speak, but Skims as well has like, you don't even notice. The triangle bra is my favorite. The cotton bra.
It's so good.
I buy like all the colors, size up, honestly, because I do think they run a little tight. Like I feel like my nipple almost pops out.
All Skims does, I find.
Yeah, like, yeah, they're definitely tight. But I don't know. I can't stress that enough. I know girls are like, free the nipple. I completely agree. But if you're about to go to sleep, nobody cares about freeing the nipple. If you want to preserve them, try a bralette.
Okay. I respect it.
Also, that could be like a tail. I don't know. But my doctor told me.
I've heard mixed things, because I've also heard that. But then I once heard someone being like, like when you wear an ankle brace, it's bad, because then as soon as you don't wear the ankle brace, your body isn't trained. So I have, but the gravity thing makes more sense. It definitely does. Like the sagging skin, look at everywhere in our body, it does make sense. But I'm also like, I wonder if the size of your breasts impacts that. Like, you know what I mean? It makes sense if you have implants. There's extra weight.
Totally.
Puts it down. But then, like, I won't lie, I got so little boobs now. I don't think a bra makes any difference.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
because look at no
the
male
A-cuppers doesn't matter really.
Like, I figured it out for us A-cup girls. Name one old man with saggy boobs, unless of course they're bigger.
Actually,
and they haven't. But like, just think about guys, the nipples. So, and I'm at that level, so I think I'm good. But for our B cup and above, I think I like it. I think you might as well err on the side of caution, but also
do your own
research,
people. Yeah, but my health professional explained it to me, and I was like, this makes perfect sense.
I would trust them more than I trust whatever I just said, because I'm bullshitting, and I haven't even hit 40. How am I supposed to know?
That's true. That's when I'm like, oh, our bodies change in 20. I did a reel of that, which my body did change in my later 20s. But so many people came after me, like trolls, just being like, oh, wait till you're 40. Ooh, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, that wasn't the point. No. My body will change multiple times over my years, the decades. But it just cracks me up, because just because we're mid-20s doesn't mean we don't know our body's changing, people.
Our body changes day by day. Like, if you want to be like, oh, just wait till you're 40. Yeah.
Be preventative now, bitch.
Yeah. So maybe mine won't. Maybe I won't. Look at Kim's.
It's goals.
Maybe not.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. What's your last one?
Separate running and weight shoes. And I also have to clarify, because I had a reel and it's done very well in multiple YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. And some people didn't get it, because I said you need running and weight shoes. And they thought I was saying my weight shoes for running. And they're like, that seems dumb. I'm like, no. So for my runners, you have your running shoes. Those are only for running. Now, ideally, you go and get weight shoes for the weight room, because they're completely opposite. And I've probably talked about this before, and I'll just say it again, because it's just my favorite thing. So you need a flat bottom for weights. You need a cushiony one that's a bit more, it's going to absorb for your running shoes. And the reason is it sounds like it's more money, but the wear on them is going to be the same amount, because you can only wear running shoes so much before you start getting injured. So you're wearing them half the amount of time. So they're going to last twice as long if you have the two separate ones. Or if you're like, Keltie, I physically can't buy running shoes or weight shoes, there's cross trainers, which are kind of a combo. So you might as well just get those. But I kind of want to clarify and just recommend, if you're getting into running, like a lot of running girls are, an easy way to injure yourself is like wear your Metcons running long distance. Like, it's just such an easy way. On the flip side, those really cushiony Hokas, if you suddenly start squatting with them, boom, rolled ankle. So I was like, cross trainer or get two separate ones. So especially, and then like, I think we're so tempted to get like the fanciest running shoe and all that. I was like, it's better to buy more cheaper running shoe that's meant for running, so you can afford a weight training shoe instead of being pressured to buy the $300 Nike Alphas, which aren't that good and they sound like rubber shoes. So that's my recommendation. Separate ones or cross trainers.
Okay, cool. And then to wrap it up, mine is a water filter. And what I mean is, to each their own. Some people use Britas, but like plot twist, Britas actually don't filter the water as much as you think. And I have my husband to thank for all of this because I was telling Keltie he's a water snob. But basically like tap water, at the end of the day, it's not the end of the world. But tap water essentially like moves a lot of water in purities. I was trying to do my research because I feel like I'm not as educated. So don't take it from a 28-year-old that knows the basics. But Michael, I should have him on for a separate podcast because he knows all about water. He's such a nerd about it. But there's a lot of like contamination within it. Also, they use a lot of chlorine and like disinfectant products for tap water. And then there's a lot of heavy metals as well. Depends on the region where you are. Once again, I'm not telling you can't have tap water or your Brita. But where I live, we have a lot of like our electricity will turn off and on. Like you've witnessed that when I podcast, like at least a couple of weeks, we always have our electricity turn off or our water will turn off as well. That's just the name of the game in Puerto Rico. And so if it's off for a certain amount of time, the water will literally come out brown. So we real quick was like, a Brita is not going to like purify all of this. Like definitely you should see our water when we put it in. There's like a lot of people love those alkalized machines. They're really expensive though. My friend Courtney has it. She loves it. So if you're a water girly, do your own research on these like alkalized water things. Is it Kangen water people love? Have you heard of this?
I'm not. I know there's so many. I do know. I will give one recommendation. Andrew Huberman, not to always put it onto him, but he has a full podcast on water and he describes like 5 different options of water filters you can get at different price points.
Oh, perfect. So there you go.
So that I was go there and like he did all the research. So there's like a $20 one up to like a $5,000 one you get attached to your home. Yeah. So that really depends. Like for example, in Vancouver, I'm not going to get a water filter. We have one of the cleanest waters on earth. But if I'm living where you're living, not as accessible, you need something a bit more concrete. So like it's nice to have different options depending where you're at. So you're not drinking sludge.
Yeah. And my water, so the one we have is called Aqua True Classic. It is quite expensive. It's about $450, but we use it every single day. If you think about it, water is the number one thing you are consistently putting in your body. It's like skincare. Like your skin is absorbing, right? So just, maybe do your own research, look into the water you're using. At the end of the day, it's not that crazy, but other people would argue with that.
And I would definitely just hop in and say like no bottled water. Like if there's one thing I'm like, unless you're in a pinch in an airport and it's that or nothing. So like, that's why I was like a $500 filter seems insane. But if you're someone who's buying bottled water every day, do you know what I mean? You'll pay for that in like 2 months time. Yeah, totally. So I think that's a way better use of your money if you're a bottled water drinker and you're scared. And I think that's good for it too.
Yeah. Also, if you are, Michael, once again, did his research and he only buys smart waters if we're like out and about, like at the airport or something, because of like, I guess he did like saw a YouTube video of like, it's actually alkalized and like clean and purified opposed to like quote unquote purified water or something like that. So I don't know. It's not my jam, but I do thoroughly enjoy having a water filter myself. Peace of mind. I cook with it. I give it to Bentley. I just like the water you should see at my house sometimes. It comes out really weird looking, and I'm very thankful that Michael invested in this water filter for us.
I love it. I got one quick hot take. Dasani is the absolute worst water of all time. It tastes awful. And that's just my hot take. It's
well, Michael Dasani also thinks it's the devil, so
I can drink any bottled water and be like, I don't really know its taste. Dasani, go away. I was going to say something really mean. Sponsor this, girly. I was like, but like Coca-Cola, which I know your own, like I will, everything else, just no Dasani. But Coke, love you.
Oh my gosh. We were making really a joke with our friend about Coca-Cola, like how, like not a lot of people drink pop anymore, like soda. And like, he's like, do you ever see that where people be like, you still drink soda? It's almost like you're smoking a cigarette or something. Yeah. Like just people are so, there's like probiotic soda now. There's all these different options.
So many options.
And so it just makes me laugh because I was like, yeah, you're right. Like I've never really liked soda. So thankfully I never got into it, but Michael used to consume it. And then he did his research and Clearly, Michael's a health freak, so he does not do it anymore. But it's more like the people that will do it like every single day. Where do your research on that, people?
You don't see that anymore. I feel it's not common. Like I know, like Megs every once in a while will just go get a Coke, just a good old fashioned Coke.
Like, you gotta treat yourself. It's like having a dessert.
Exactly. It's after a hockey game, so they drink. Actually, fun fact: sometimes in between periods they drink Coke. Just like a lot of
Sugar Rush.
Yeah, just like they just want pure sugar. And I was like, actually, it's kind of a sports beverage, but you think about it.
There you go. Gatorade, move over.
Prime Gatorade, move aside. Coca-Cola.
Yeah, that's funny.
Shall we jump into confession session?
Yeah, let's wrap it up because your girlie's got to go.
Okay, let's run them rapid fire. I'm going to hit you with number 1. My company has a presence at music. Let me say that again. My company has a presence at music festivals. I'm in charge and secretly microdose on shrooms. And I'm like, I love that.
I love this.
Honestly, whenever I hear anyone microdosing on shrooms, I'm like, you're just like a tech pro. You know what I mean? Like they're all doing it down. Everyone in San Francisco, like all the Silicon Valley, they're all just like microdosing. So I'm like, see, you are being responsible and a good employee. Because if there's ever a place to do it, it's a music festival. Let's be real.
There you go. I'll keep you chill and relaxed. Yeah.
You got to survive it.
Yeah. Okay, respect. Mine is me telling one of my coworkers that one of the new guys is hot and finding out he's 33 and I'm 24. Hey, girl, nothing wrong with that.
Honestly,
nothing wrong with that.
It's legal. It's just one of those, just like you're like, I just think of myself in my early 20s. Someone in your 30s, you're like, oh, you want a kid and to settle down. You're like,
yeah.
I don't. You know what I mean? It's just one of those, like, the romance, it was an idea and now it's not.
Fair. All right, hit us with the next one.
Interviewed for another job on Zoom while on the clock. I'm like, get it. That's spicy.
Love that.
Just hope they're, like some companies, they like monitor your browsing. I hope they don't have that on you. But I was like, get it.
True.
Get it. You know what I mean?
Name of the game. Name of the game. Clearly she's like kind of ready to peace out if she's willing to risk that. Because you could wait till you're off the clock.
Don't. Get paid. Get paid to
get paid.
Look
get
for
that
a new
money.
job. I like it. Get it, girl.
Okay, my next
Fuck
one
the man.
is quitting my job after a woman threatened to call the government on the company. Wow.
So I like imagine like someone on the phone. This is all I picture. You're in IT or something, and someone's gone, and you're just trying to help. You're just I'm giving customer service, and this person's like, this is too much. I'm going to call the government on you. You guys are over. That's like, she hit her breaking point. She's like, I will not listen to another Karen. I'm out. Just drop the mic, quit, out. And I just want to say, clap.
Well done.
Well done.
We all hit a breaking point. We all know what we want to stand for and what we don't. Good for you, girl.
I love it. And then got one more. Finished a hard set of leg extensions and the older lady beside me asked if I was okay.
Loved that.
And, haven't you know that time of like, did she just finish her workout or is she sick?
Yeah, absolutely. The world will never know.
No,
yeah.
But I was like, you worked out. That's how you know you did it. Like you should give yourself a pat on the back. I went so hard, I looked unwell.
Yeah, I love that.
Proud of you.
Proud of you. All right. Well, with that being said, thank you for tuning in. Do not forget to leave a review. Go check us out on Instagram, and we have a YouTube channel. And with that being said, we will see you later. Bye.
Bye.